Chickadee check. Sounds great.
Right there.
Got it.
Hit that play on that laptop. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear you, but I'll be right with you. Yes. Yes. Right after you got us going. Immediately. Oh, well. It did not do our intro.
Cool, though.
I don't know what happened. Well, anyway. This is what Al would be playing too. Yeah, we had a bunch of technical difficulties and some new things we're trying, and maybe next time.
So finally,
Yeah, sorry. I don't even know.
You know, we like had everything ready to go, and at last minute we were like, oh wait, let's add these new additions.
Well, it wasn't. It should have.
It was already set up.
Yeah,
it just didn't work because that's how things work here.
Mechanical error.
Yeah.
Man error. Me.
You just watch closely.
Too much going on.
And eventually this coffee will be gone, and I'll be like, what? I just got coffee. How'd that happen?
Too much daggone going on. Oh, you know what?
It was already set up.
Gotta turn that mute off. Turn that down a little bit more.
I got mine off. I made sure this time I got all messages.
See, I could have. Next, I'm gonna have to download a bunch of other just music because I typed in free stuff to try to find for Owl, and got a bunch of this stuff. But I gotta do this real quick. And remember, kids, the views and opinions expressed by the individuals in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the Outhouse podcast, its affiliates, its guests, or even us. This show is for entertainment purposes only.
That's right.
No, let me go make
just some opinions and some jokes from some jokes.
Make a...
Get it, folks?
Oh, what the hell?
I get it. You know, I didn't get to do any promoting for this on my personal channel, and I was going to. I was going to hammer it.
I ain't done nothing. I still haven't thanked everybody from 2 weeks ago. Be here in however long it was we played there over there at the spot. I was going to make a post and all that. Still haven't.
Well, we had a whole week that just threw us through a wash cycle. So this week it's kind of been like, oh, we're trying to keep up and everything, and just getting back to it. So much footage to upload. You more than me, but
man, I tried editing that and I couldn't. I tried to get that little zoom to work. I figured out how to get to it now, but then I couldn't get it to work. So I don't know.
That's crazy because it worked like first try on my video, our video.
I've done all of them videos, and the only difference was I was only doing a small section. This time I was trying to do the whole video, but it still didn't. It wasn't having it. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to get mid down here.
Do you want it to zoom like the whole time, or you want it to zoom in and stay there?
No, yes, zoom in just a little bit, just to crop it so it covers the speaker monitors and the top part of the garage.
Yeah, I was gonna say just crop it instead of zooming it. Yeah,
I want to zoom it just a touch because it'll bring it in. Just, you know what I mean, instead of just cropping it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well.
Because technically I should have had the camera closer, but I didn't. You know, I had so much other things going on that I didn't even pay attention to what needed to be done on video. So that's where you gotta get. I'm gonna have to learn you real good on everything, so you can be the video guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn something, dude. I was waiting to see what I looked like filming there because I felt awkward. I was trying to stand out of the way, but I wasn't like inside of the garage. So I was probably one of the only things that was noticeable by that light of the day. And when I watched Nick's one video of him just like showing, it looks so bad. I'm sitting there in the corner like I'm like, oh.
Well, that's what you gotta remember is if you're up there getting them badass shots, that's the ones we're using. And the other camera that you would be on, we wouldn't be using that shot at that particular moment. We'd be using the shot you're using.
Yeah, but
while you're
still,
standing in front of it.
It's terrible. It's just like, Who's that guy? What's he doing? Oh, that's me. I can't imagine. It looked a lot better when you were out there doing it because you were way further away from the stage and you were just able to like run through the crowd. I tried doing that. People were turning around like, what you filming? Like, I'm trying to film the show.
You.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to look
Biggest
down.
thing with me is I just don't pay attention to everybody that's around me. It's almost like I got this job to do, get out of my way.
That's what I did.
And usually they do.
I mean, it was great.
And then you
like
turn around
in the
and
moment.
film some things, you know what I mean? Sometimes some crowd moments, like you say, in the moment. Bullshit.
It was good in the moment, but looking back at that footage, at me filming from like somebody else's perspective, it's like I don't even look like I'm filming. I look like a weirdo just standing there.
Yeah, Al got stuck in Beach City, apparently. It's the first show he's not on. That's crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
And I don't know why, I wasn't, hell, I told him, I was like, dude, I can't run across town. I didn't realize he was in Beach City. And he was out running around with whoever, I don't know why he would.
Yeah, he sent me an address and asked to get picked up like 15 minutes before we were going live, and we were so like rushing to get stuff done. And I was like, okay, let me see where this address is. It sent me all the way to Beach City, and I was like, is that right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, man, I'm sorry. I'm already here. I just can't. Otto popped up. Hey, what up?
What's up, Outhouse? How come I don't see no chat?
Otto's on his way to get out.
Oh.
Hey, okay.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Shout out Otto.
Well, see, at least we took all this extra time to make sure Al would have this to play to now. And that was mostly what took so long.
He's going to have a nice surprise. Probably feel pretty salty. Shout out Otto. Live by the motto.
Yeah, Otto's the man.
Yeah. No idea if we make it.
Oh, you should be able to. You probably get here about halftime. Right in time for him to be doing his thing. I gotta refocus. All them lights are staring at the ceiling. I just realized.
You haven't used those
tomorrow,
in a while?
Maybe. I used them at the show.
Oh, yeah.
I just hung them back up and haven't refocused them yet.
That's why. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, a lot of things gonna have to be retuned. Take a sip.
Anyway, thanks to all you folks that are in there hanging out with us. It looks like there's a few people, but what do you think about all that shit going down? Well, it's no longer in L.A. no more. We got some shit going on in Dallas, Chicago, some other shit.
What's happening? I saw Los Angeles has fallen. They overpowered the police. Blah blah blah.
Because the ICE agents went in and was snatching people up, and they're trying to say it was people to have jobs and all this other stuff, which I don't know, that's up for debate. I don't know. I haven't seen no positive or I haven't seen proof either or other than the fact that they have names and they know who they're going after. I would assume, but.
Well, there's so much happening now.
They're all in an uproar because the shit that I was seeing, they was all crying about. It was all the Mexicans saying, "Oh, you guys stole our land anyway. This is our land. Who you think you are?" And it's okay, yeah. Well, I do believe you stole that from the Mayans when you came over here when the Spanish, came over here and raped and pillaged and burnt down shit.
Nobody can claim it's anybody's land.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point.
Even the government can't truly do that. It's Mother Nature, if anything, and that's what you're destroying by building on it. First of all.
Speaking of Mother Nature.
Second of all, didn't Elon and Trump just have a huge falling out?
Yeah, they kissed and made up, as from what I'm seeing already.
Already? Elon said that Trump was on the...
Yeah, I think they did it on purpose. I seen a thing where they did it so they could get the Democrats to release the Epstein files list.
Oh, so
because they was trying to, because that's why he was like, oh well, Trump's on the list. You know what I mean?
They got to see it, so release.
So they wanted to release when he's on it, but not like that. Of course, there's a bunch of people on his flight log and on his, you know what I mean? Because Trump actually, who the hell, he went against him somewhere on trial because when he kicked him out of wherever that place is he got in Florida, Largo or whatever that's called, Malargo. He kicked him out when he was trying to do some funny shit down there, apparently. And then he went and testified against him somewhere in some other case, from what I was gathering. So yeah, he supposedly that was a little tricky scam to get the Democrats to vote that to open the shit up. But
it was
we
very
shall see.
Short-lived, but I mean, there's been like
these guys kill me.
A wave effect from it. What do you mean? What's going down in you said Mexico or Texas? What'd you say?
Well, it's same thing. They're getting all uproar because they think ICE is going to come down there. So now they're like protesting and all this crazy shit.
So it's basically civilians trying to say, hey, look, like, we want to... Who is it that's attacking it? Well, we'll find out in a minute. It was a plan. Of course it was a plan.
It's the Mexicans.
Okay, well, yeah. That's what the uproar's about. All along the border right now.
Well, no, it's not along the border. It was started in California.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, infiltrating from where it's coming from. Yeah, like mid-state. Well, that's wild. I saw one video on that.
But now that they're doing all that in California, they seem to want to do it everywhere else because they're scared that, oh, well, if they're going to come snatch these cats up here, they're going to come down here and snatch them up. Well, if you're in here illegally, you're going to get snatched up. Sorry.
Well, I mean,
there's ways to come here legally, and you're fine. You don't have to worry about it.
Dude, I was going to tell you earlier, I watched a video of this lady confessing this murder that she did. This is just off topic about how messed up people are. But this lady dismembered her lover. I guess her lover was saying to do it before he died. I don't know, there wasn't much details on that. But literally cut off his head with a knife, just sat there sawing for hours. She said she was falling asleep doing it. And that she enjoyed it. She cut everything out of him, his organs, put it in bags, cut his arms off.
Good grief.
She said she went to sleep cuddling the body, and she was confessing this as if we're just talking. Just
yeah,
so
Gary says it's mostly
psychopath.
Mexican Americans. And back to that for a second, the thing that I don't understand about all that is why would you want to come over here to this country and raise a ruckus because you want your rights and you don't want deported? Why the hell didn't you do that in your own country? Why didn't you stand up for your rights and stand up for your people in your own country? Why you got to come here and try to bend us to whatever you need? You're coming here, bro. What are you talking about?
I bet you it's just as much of a plan as it is for these people to tell stories and be upset about it.
And then I just seen a thing today I was watching where they was talking about Hamas, how they was talking about those refugees. I just watched, you know who Conan and O'Brien is?
Yeah.
He went there, and he was walking where the refugees are supposedly at.
Yeah.
They're all in houses. They got cars, food, money. He goes, you're not a refugee if you're in a house.
Yeah.
If you got shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of lying going on.
It's like the
around
prisons with flat screens and PS4s. And
Yeah, well, it's not even prisons. It looked where he was at looked like kind of like complex.
Like condos.
Apartment, not even condos. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
nice
projects,
apartments.
but it wasn't like condos. It was just like these built.
Better living than I got,
Yeah,
probably.
probably.
That's what's a shame about it. And it's all free. It's insane.
Tis insane.
I think that the stories are planted just as much, because if nobody complained about it, nobody would care. It would just be happening. I
also watched this other dude, the dude I watched, and he's featured on our YouTube channel, Casper site, and he had like an hour and some odd show with a lady called something Greer. She's no relation to Richard Greer, which is the doctor that does all that UFO shit, the fifth kind and all that. But she's a crop circle lady, and she's been doing this shit since like the early 80s. She'd fly over there and spend the whole summer in England and go to every one that popped up.
Oh, wow.
But the craziest thing about what she said is this one dude figured out what was going on, and he ended up unalived sooner or later. Which she had several attempts on her. She said one dude left plutonium in her garage, got her all sick. They poisoned her once because she started, figuring out what this shit was.
The secrets to the crop, dude.
And what it is, what she explained is it's Mother Nature. It's not aliens, it's not entities, it's actually the Earth, because it's 2 plasma balls, because she's got footage or whatever, and there's this other dude that had some footage too that ironically disappeared. But and it's a vortex that spins in the opposite. It's like, I forget what like the 2 atoms, the positive and the negative. Like they was doing them tests where they had the 2 in the different places, and you could charge them and they react at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Mimicking it, yeah.
And all this shit that's popping up, like this dude took them and made 3D on a computer and then started spinning them, some of these images, and it turns out some of it was like propulsion systems and then spinning the center one way and the other thing the other way did other different things.
I can totally buy that. It's
crazy, man.
I just watched a Joe Rogan episode where he was talking to the guy from Y-Files. I forget what his name is. But they were talking about crop circles and how they're woven together, and it's like stuff you can't do. There are stuff that artists have done, but it's like crunchy and it's sloppy. It's hard
there's a lot of differences in between the real ones and the fake ones.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The
real ones, one of them is that they're weaved, like you say.
Yeah, and you can't.
2 is that the nodes, they're bent. And, and it's microwave bent from heat, not from somebody stomping. And the one lady was explaining that. She was like, when they do that, they go every 2 or 3 foot and they stomp it down. Then they'll go 2 or 3 foot and they'll stomp it down. So when they do that, when it grows back, it automatically grows back to the sun and it rises back up. Now the actual crop circles, they stay horizontal, and it grows. And everything that's a real crop circle, all the actual crops inside of it are like quadrupled. Like it's way more. And like if you take the seeds from it, you can almost grow them with no water. It's like unbelievable.
Happens when you
and this is why she keeps saying why the government keeps trying to get at hers, because if everybody in the world would find out that, because what they did was they figured out how to plasma charge. That's what it is. Plasma charge the seeds of these crops, and they showed some corn they did. It had 2 laundry baskets, and one basket had like 5 ears of corn in it, and the charged ones had like almost 20 in it.
Wow.
And she was saying that we could feed the world with no problem with these seeds, because they'll grow in the desert with barely any water. Like she said, you could actually take seeds from that looks like they're like nothing left, like you couldn't even plant them, and they'll still grow.
Oh, wow.
And apparently the government's hiding all that shit because they don't want everybody to know, because
I mean, I could totally buy the Mother Nature thing of it being done, because when it weaves together, it touches. It also creates like a lot of fragments that we see in the patterns of the universe. It's a natural effect. And there's been notices of like radiation and different types of chemicals all throughout the field. I wonder what happens.
Go down to Casper site and check that out.
I wonder what happens when it just grows. Like once it's woven, they don't undo it, right? They just leave it sit.
What happens is at first the farmers were just cutting it out at the end of the year, not worrying about it.
I would let it grow.
Then, they did, but it doesn't grow. It grows, but it grows horizontally, and it still has the thing. But then it got to the point where all these people was jumping into their fields and vandalizing and shit. So as soon as they'd appear, they'd cut them down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, then now, though, since they figured out that there's something to the seeds, now they're like they'll put up a donation box in their field. It'll be like, hey, we lost such and such a crop, you know, about so many. If you donate so much, help us get it back. And then they're harvesting the crop circle seeds and selling them as crop circle seeds and making more money off of just those individual ones because they've been plasma charged. And that's what them balls are. They're plasma. I've seen a video where the dude was sitting out on the hill and you could see it, dude. These two things was swirling back and forth, and the shit was just falling. It was like, wow. It was right at dusk, or right at the. It wasn't even the break of dawn. It was just right before the sun cracked open.
I haven't seen any videos of it actually being like done or demonstrated or even faked. But that would be pretty wild.
Now, one thing that I watched was a guy that was explaining those, talking about it didn't matter if they was real ones made by whoever makes them. Well, back then they was thinking they was alien, or possibly the government with satellites. They just program it and it draws a design or whatever.
Yeah.
But each one of those do have each, you know, it's got the shape of it and the designs and all that all means something. They have all energies. They're always on the ley lines and all that type of stuff. And he was saying, regardless even if a human makes it, that shape and that design still means something. It still has an energy to that shape, regardless of who makes it. So if me and you went out and made a crop circle, something put that in our minds to make that particular shape, and that particular shape has a particular energy that will do whatever.
Manifest the energy.
Some people walk into them and they get healed. Some people feel this big energy. Some people get sick.
Well, I mean, it's a possibility. If you really look at it as like fractals being code to the universe of whatever is like actually happening. If way back in the day we had nothing to do as primates and we just sat there and drew the sky and ended up drawing it perfectly enough that you somehow cast a spell, imagine. All of the answers would be in patterns and symbolism. They say symbolism is super heavy.
It is, but I really don't believe that we was ever stupid like that. I mean, I think we started out way smarter than...
No, I think it was smart, and it was erased.
Like, we wasn't like, you know, well, you see on the cartoon, the Ooga Moonga dude with a stick with
I
a
think
rock
it was
on
magical.
The end of it, man.
I think it was spiritual.
Absolutely.
In touch with
our
realm.
Ever more so than we ever have been back then.
We've been blanked out. I mean, you got to look at it like this. Animals are the only ones that are in sync with the world. They know when it's going to storm.
Other than the people that are... There's people still, but it's few of them. People that live out in the woods and do all that.
People actually connected, diet
There's
right,
a lot of
do
people
the right
like
studies.
that. It's mostly the people in the cities and in the suburbs, like where I'm at. You know, if you don't get out in them woods and enjoy nature, you don't get that one with.
I think it's an appreciation for, like, I don't know, like everything that you stand on, because that is the universe's gift in a way. Somehow man made whatever it is out of the very land that we stand on, that's underneath this, you know. And I think there's a special sentimental value that we've lost because we're ignorant as mankind anymore. And so it was pretty easy to erase from us because of where that stands.
There's a lot of stuff I read on that or watched on that too. I was just watching this thing the other day that was talking about the Earth was a prison planet.
Oh, interesting. Like a mind prison?
No, it was like, dude was a child of, he claims like he's a bloodline of the Nephilim and shit, and they keep it like they're the ones running all the shit, and they're the ones doing all this freaky shit, you know, fucking sacrificing kids and blooding them and all this weird shit, and
the
sexual abuse
and
all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he said he was part of that. Like, his grandpa was one that had, like, he said they'd go in their house and have all these boys on the mantle, and these people would come and just pick one.
Oh my gosh.
And he said they was like trained. You said like it was like they had a book on them, and these people would rent a page, and they'd be able to know this code, and they could.
The knowledge.
talk this code and be however they wanted that kid to be. Like if you wanted a young boy to dressed up like a girl, and they'd tell him what code it was, and that dude would speak that code, and this kid would act like that because they was brainwashed.
Yeah,
they brainwashed them, they traumatized them, took them away from this dude. Goes through this whole thing. It was crazy, and how the military's, actually breeding these people and be stronger soldiers, and the mind thing, because he was talking about how people messing with Ouija boards and all that stuff, that there's certain people that can't handle that, and when you open up them doors and them things, they don't just peek out and be like, hey, when you open the door, they come storming through and they'll attach to you, and if you can't handle it, they'll, you can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
And if you ain't of them bloodlines, I guess, in other words, you can't handle it. Or if you were, it was pretty wild shit he was talking, man. I was like, whoa, it's heavy, but he was saying that the Earth was a prison planet.
That would make sense. I mean, there is a very minimal group that would be practicing something like that, because even mankind, they have conspiracies about people building microchips that do the same thing. Like, they will control you by using microchips, and that's
Ultra.
Pretty believable, because you can zoom into these things and see these cities of electronics and stuff, and how our technology is, versus just some like text off of a book or something like that. But if they did have that and they were employing you to think, like, this is how dumb we are, that would make sense, because that's an ultimate power group. And I think very much so it could be true, because there was like Disney showing symbolism to the Illuminati and how everything works that way. I watched an incredible podcast last night, and I was going to send it to you, but I waited till the end to find out if it was true. It was about Admiral Byrd.
Yeah, I know about all that.
And how he flew over the Antarctica and he found all that stuff. It was all a diary. And this diary was said to have never existed. That's not real. But there is a 3-hour time loop where he went missing. And they can't explain it. And everything that they said was it was Nazi UFOs, man-made. There was this whole city on the other side that controlled everything, wherever that might be. He said he was flying around. Nobody knows where the perimeter of that could have been.
Supposedly he flew in a big hole, is what they say, and went down in.
Yeah, he was looking at like mountains.
Then they took over and escorted him in. And brought him and landed him and supposedly talked to him and said blah 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 blah, go back and tell your people and don't ever come back.
And it was mixed with beings, and these beings looked like what Hitler wanted his soldiers to look like, but only like supreme. And so they were like all part of it. They had mind power. There was all kinds of experiments where they like could make people feel pain and like be inside of their brain and tell them to like stop feeling that they don't understand it, and just.
Well, that's what dude was saying, was like these, all these other entities and shit can, manipulate your mind and make you see whatever, you know what I mean? Because they're walking around with us and you don't know it because they manipulate your mind. We're so easily, you know what I mean?
Do you know what a puckwedgie is? I think I'm saying that right. A puckwedgie. It's a demon that's in the woods, and it calls to you in the form of empathy. So like whatever you feel most sad about, if you hear a child crying, if you would go save it, or if it was a dog crying, if you'd go, whatever would make you run into the woods, it'll act like that. And I was told stories this as like a kid and stuff, and I'd be out on my old property. We have woods, just jumping on a trampoline. I hear this dog screaming for help. I'm like, no, that could be whatever. That's somebody's dog. They'll get it. Something. In my mind, I'm thinking, that could be. All of a sudden, it turned to a little girl crying. And I'm like, I took off. I went back in the house.
Son.
Yeah, I went back in the house, dude. I was like, no way.
Having it.
And there is something evil in them woods, man. It'd be fun to go out there.
Well,
I get permission to go out there.
That was another thing he was saying. He's like, all those things that we say are cryptid. He goes, that shit is real as hell, out there. And he was talking about like when you get up into those families up in there and you start doing all this crazy shit, like Diddy and all them, I guess. Like these cats, actually, there's like two paths. Like the vampire path, which is the blood drinkers, and these other cats are like these werewolf type cats. And I guess one dude was telling old boy, don't go down that path. He goes, that's painful because you switch or whatever into that dog form or whatever. And he was saying that shit's all real.
Man, it's
and
just
like
like
all this other crazy shit these guys are out in the woods, all that. He goes, that's all real, man. All them skinwalkers and all that bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen videos of the military doing like drills where they're actually taking care of a zombie situation. And they're like, we don't like to call them zombies or whatever by classification. But it's still what it is, and it's like whole apartment buildings. It's not a small scale something. So like, I would imagine they've conquered big tasks or ran into something like that, had to create some kind of path of safety for them and us. Whatever that might be, a lie, a form of technology that only they could use. That way we can't see, like, because you can imagine, you can't just Google, how do I live as a kid being a vampire in civilization of humans? Like, what? No.
Well, I don't think it's like, blood, I'm here to suck your blood, and you're fucking floating
No, but there
in
are
windows.
standards you have to live by.
But yeah, I mean, but they are drinking blood, and they're kidnapping people, and
you don't want to
they're
get
sacrificing
caught.
and all that crazy shit.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That.
And it's just, that's a knowledge.
One dead body. Two. You know why that is? The vampire lore about the count. So if you're ever getting chased by a vampire, you need to grab like a bag of Skittles or M&Ms or anything that's got thumbtacks, toothpicks, and throw them down on the ground. They have to stop and count them.
Count Dracula?
Yeah, that's where that comes from, the count.
What? No, that's not real.
No, he was a count because he was like a count, but that's part of the vampire lore that they're OCD and they gotta stop them.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Why hasn't there been a Family Guy episode like
I forget
that?
what movie I was watching one time, and they did that. They grabbed a handful of something and threw it down, and dude stopped and was like, "Oh!" And I was like, "What the fuck was that all about?" And looked it up, and that's what it was. I was like, "Damn, I didn't know that."
Dude,
One, two. So that's where they get that on Sesame Street. Is where I was going with that.
You make a whole video on that. Literally just like a whole short on that and have it, all of that in there. Even the Sesame Street guy. I could see it. I could visualize it. That's wild, dude. Well, if you needed
and then
to
the silver
know.
had to do, I think, with Judas, because he betrayed Jesus with the silver bullets killing him and all that weird shit. I think that has something to do with that, if I remember correctly.
There's a lore behind everything, pretty much. Yeah. I did a lot of watching Supernatural, and they have a lot of
pretty cool,
pretty close facts to, like, they stay close to what reality could actually be. That's what's enjoyable about it, I think. It got pretty wild, but yeah, I watched it for a good long time.
Yeah, me too. First 5 seasons or something.
I was big into it, man. Shoot, that's what I was saying. Them woods back there.
That's with the two brothers, right? It was
Sam and Dean.
Yeah,
Winchesters. They had that sick ass car. Dean, just his personality is great.
Think if I was back there, he'd be.
Hey, soon, maybe coming soon. We have no
Coming
updates,
soon
so Otto's
to some
driving.
headphones near you. But yeah, that was that dude was pretty interesting. I have to send you them links. It was actually, I had watched that dude before on the actual podcast, and then somebody else was like playing it and talking about it, and I watched his, and I was like, oh yeah, I kept going, oh yeah, I remember now. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I really like the Y-Files because of how he debunks things.
Mm-hmm.
I like to debunk things because I want to experience this. I don't want to see it on a video. I don't want to hear it from a friend.
Right.
I want to believe, and that's how I become a believer. The reason I went out late at night and always went exploring, ended up getting arrested, but I went explore. I had a whole YouTube channel where I explored, and I went and I got EVPs. I tried to do conversations. I tried to be like kind. I tried aggression. I tried all kinds of things. And I just wanted to find the absolute truth. And to be on a search for that with anything, I think it's really cool. There's a magic behind that. Because it's like, it could be possible. Anything could be possible. I've seen lots of stories, and when they get debunked, it's like, man, I kind of wish it was true. It's wild. But them woods back there, I was saying, we could probably go explore those. They're Indian burial grounds, collapsed mining tunnels, and haunted of some kind. In East Sparta.
Oh.
Yeah. One of my old properties. We could probably get permission to go out there and just do it. Everybody else is out there talking about, hey, we're starting a page for going supernatural hunting and blah, blah. Even at the spot we were talking about it still never happened. Nobody has ever done
Everybody's chicken shit. They don't want to play.
Yeah. I ended up going out myself to a location just to, like, walk around and check out the atmosphere without, like, trying to connect with it or talk anything. And it was very lonely. Like, it was... it didn't want to connect because it felt that it was just one person. And so there's like a certain energy to that. I don't know.
Gary said the truth is hard to find anymore.
You got that right. Then when you see it, you don't believe it because it's AI. AI. Explain AI, and then and then we can move forward as humanity. Because we still can't explain internet, how it works. A wireless connection.
Oh, I know how it works. It's just waves.
Yeah, but if you understood truly how it worked, like as an individual, and could recreate that, you'd be unstoppable. And that's a knowledge that nobody has.
Yeah, they got it, but when you try to do it, they come snatch your ass up.
Sure. Yeah, just like the engine that runs with no gas.
Just like you can generate those waves, they can pick them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anything they generate money off of that you try to pull from them is a problem. When you step on their toes. Got to find an avenue that they're not making any profit from.
Well, that's what that cropsicle lady was talking about. Like, she was starting to put two and two together, and they was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. How do they generate profit off of that? It's a publicity thing?
Well, because the one thing is, if everybody found out that those seeds were like they was, that would change everything.
Yeah, the profit margin and all that, they would start just directly. Yeah.
For one, there was a couple examples that she made, but that was the biggest one.
See, we got to find an avenue that hasn't been like extorted for profit and put our music in there.
And them knowing where they're coming from. You know, our government knows what the fuck's going on with that. Do you think they don't know that that's plasma energy coming from the earth? You're crazy. They knew that years ago. They just ain't, you know what I mean? They're, it's fake, it's fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like the UFOs. How many years they've been saying fake, 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 fake. Now they can't.
Their knowledge probably comes from a little bit before, like,
but they're saying fake, 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 fake because they was covering their own asses, and now they're going to be like, oh yeah, they're real. We don't know where they're at or where they're coming from, but they're not a threat. Oh, really? You don't know who they are, where they're coming from, but they're not a threat. Okay.
Yeah.
Which obviously ain't a threat, or they'd have done. You know, they got technology way more higher than us. They could.
But you know, Admiral Byrd,
if they haven't already.
Admiral Byrd was a very admired. What do you call that when you're in a war? It's just a term. Yeah, He's just very respected as an individual, and so
Yeah,
his words weren't hung lightly.
He did a lot. He did a couple wars, I think.
When he come back,
World
he was
War
saying
One and Two.
we should fear the ships in the sky from the attack from above, all the way back then. And now we have like a much more surfacing issue now, and it's just that's kind of wild too. Just to add to that point, all that came out.
Well, the thing about that is they knew back then. They had already known, because I forget when. I'd have to. No, he was a little earlier than that, I think. But 47 was Roswell.
Gary says the media pays for it. The media is the enemy. It is.
And you know who owns the media?
Who?
A certain ethnic group owns all the media and all anything you see on TV and the movies and all that shit. The Jews.
Really? What?
Yeah.
What?
They run all of it, bro. You ain't know that?
No. I wouldn't have thought that, honestly. I thought it would be like more just like an elite type project like Blackwell or...
Well, them, but the Jewish dudes are the ones that got all the money and run all the shit.
That's interesting. Wonder why Lil Dicky had such a hard time. As a rapper.
Now you take that consideration, and now go back and think about Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't understand that concept at all.
Well, here's the concept, because everybody thinks that the Jews are God's chosen people, right? Well, them particular Jews got slaughtered by the Russians. There ain't no more of those.
That's the opinion?
No, that's facts.
Oh, okay.
These Jews that are now are the modern Jews. They ain't the Jews from the Bible that got smashed away, that are God's chosen people.
The media is what fueled Hitler's career the entire time. It's what put him in power.
There's more than one places that talk about how the Jews are going to bring us down and all this stuff. I don't know.
The media, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, they run all that, so think about it.
How did Hitler ever have power over that if the media was supporting him the whole time, is what I'm saying.
Well, no, he wasn't. He had his own media.
Then media took over because it was apparently more powerful. They convinced everyone.
We got in the ball game.
Well, the reason I always look back at like our...
If it wasn't for us, he would have conquered everybody probably.
Yeah.
If us and the Russians put an ass whipping on him.
But the media is what fueled everything. They
Japan almost got us.
Yeah. Well, I don't know too many facts looking back like that, but what I know that for a fact because I look at it today, in today's modern day issues, and how the media will just tell you what you want to hear. It's the sad story that people cling to. They don't hear a happy story and they cling to that. It's what fuels it. It's like, oh, this is going on. Oh, now I care about it because I know about it. That's exactly what they did when I was in school and I was learning about Hitler and everything. That's all I could think about. It's like, oh, these people heard about it and they just joined in the merry throng. There's something more to that. And when you look back, yeah, there was circus acts, demonstrations, they voted for him. There was like a whole theater of people cheering for his speeches when it was translated into English. It was all uplifting and motivational. It was all like, we are going to be better as people and this blah, 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 blah. It wasn't ever saying anything about what's actually happening.
Right. And then there again, there's the media, our media, that's lying to us about that whole situation anyway. So what really was Hitler really doing? Like, knowing that, now I ain't saying that I agree with what he did as far as killing thousands and thousands of people. That's insane, you know what I mean?
Sure,
but what did he know that we don't know? You know what I mean? There's got to be, it was more than just, oh, I'm going to kill these Jews.
It was supported by a belief. There was a belief behind it.
Well, I'm saying there was more than just a belief behind it. He found some information somewhere or knew something past what we never know.
The mind control power that they talk about that they found whenever they went and found the Shimmering City. That's possible.
Well, see, that's what I was talking about earlier, that MK Ultra, that's that mind control shit that our government was messing with.
Yeah.
That they got from all them guys that was doing all that, because Hitler was all onto that shit too.
Yeah.
He was completely into all the UFOs, the ghosts, and all that crazy shit, because he got people that, like, all the spoon benders and people that said they could talk to the dead and all that kind of shit. He rounded them all up and was like, all right, what can you do? And how, you know what I mean? And all those astral projection people and all that type of shit. Yeah, he rounded them up.
That's interesting. I wonder what he was... There was so much. There was so much buried into that.
Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, I think our government lied. They supposedly said they found him, he shot himself and his wife and shit, and I don't buy that for a minute, bro. I think he was long gone, and whether or not we helped him get out or he got out on his own, I think all that shit is lies.
Maybe it was a barter ship somehow. I don't know.
We'll
never know.
A bunch of them ended up down there in South America, I think it was, yeah.
There has been other stories of people making, like, trades for humans over the decades to keep peace with, like, aliens and stuff like that. That has been said. So there could have been, like, a barter. Like, hey, look, I'll make you the richest man in our world, which is vastly bigger than yours right now, if you just do all this and get rid of whatever they don't want.
And then also, dude said he was like, because he grew up all that, getting conditioned and all that shit, and when he finally realized, and he was like, he didn't want to be around people. He said he realized people were like the most disgusting, awful, evil things, and he was like going to people's backyards and crawling in their dog boxes with their dogs and sleeping with their dogs, and he was like, oh, well.
What?
Yeah, he's like, these dogs are too domesticated, so then he started going and hanging out with the coyotes.
Wait, who?
This dude.
Oh.
And he then the coyotes wasn't enough. He started hanging with the wolves, and he goes, once you learn their gestures and how their language is, he goes, they'll accept you. He goes, they was like my friends. He was like, he'd live out in the woods with these damn wolves, man.
That'd be wild. I mean, yeah, I can.
And apparently he ended up being some sort of operative for the government of some, where he could sneak in and sneak out, do things, and he was like, that's how you got to get trained. You got to get past all these people sitting in a room that's with these rich ass people that cast spells of protection for them. He says you got to learn how to get past those, how to curses and all, and the physical beings and people that's there.
Oh,
he said he had to learn how to do all that. You got to in and out without being seen, without being heard.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, dude. Like, this dude was a beast, bro. Like, for real.
Wow.
I'll have to send you that. I'll go through my history, and that's a crazy interview.
Can you imagine the power we would have if we could harvest just a little bit of the power of the universe? Like the way it generates. They have certain forms already, like how land moves in the masses and water, obviously, and air, the elements they control. But like the patterns, like for example, what created the crop circles, just that. If you can harvest whatever that is, you probably...
Well, they do. I think they have. I think they have figured that out.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of that ancient knowledge. They just ain't letting us know
because that's all. Yeah, that's all that free power, and there again, endless amounts of food. We could feed everybody, clothe everybody, house everybody. They don't want that.
You know what they want? They want you to feel like you're in an impending state of doom all the time, and your life is just chaos, 24/7, and there's no way to catch up. I don't know why. Well, that's the way they want us to feel.
There's a way to catch up. They convince you to work hard all your life and save your pennies.
Yeah.
And that don't do shit for you.
Yep. They convince you to go to the 9 to 5.
Take them couple $100 and invest it and reinvest it and reinvest it until you're reinvested so thick that it don't matter that money's making money on top of money, and then all of a sudden, boom. They don't tell you that.
Yeah.
They tell you to go work your ass off and save your pennies. Oh, go work for 5 years, then you'll get you a 1 week vacation, man, and you'll get a 75-cent raise, bro. Yeah. Fuck that.
That, and then like everything dramatically changes from one form to the next. Like from my own experience with what my dad would tell me to put on like resumes, I can't do that kind of stuff today because they actually fact check that. Before, you could do that. You could write a piece of paper, or you could just fib. Be like, yeah, I've done this job before, and then you learn it right there. And that's not a possibility anymore. There's whole loops you gotta jump through and stuff like that. So
Otto said, I'm gonna say he's not gonna make this episode.
Well, dang. He just got there to get out. Gary watched the documentary where they
He said, I'm listening, Otto.
He fled and lived another 20 plus years. Is that where did he go under? Oh, where was it?
What are you talking about?
That's what Gary said.
Fled and lived another 20 years. What am I not seeing Oh, no, I'm not.
It's right above it. And
I forgot to hit. I thought I hit all messages, but I missed all kinds of shit, didn't I?
It was Greenland or Sweden or something. Somewhere. I heard that too. And there's even proof of like German culture in an area where it shouldn't be that they said he flew off to.
I think that was the documentary I seen. It was, I think it was, it might even been, there was a whole series of things that was like tracing Hitler or following Hitler or some shit like that. That was pretty interesting. They took all these leads where all these different people thought that he did this and he did that. But they did do up in Germany, they found like this hiding spot down in the ground, like right out in this public park. They did these scans and found these tunnels and these big rooms and shit.
Oh, this place was a different place.
Boy,
it was in Germany.
Them some bitches had a bunch of hidden shits going on, boy.
We'll never actually know, which is sad.
It's crazy too, because when you go, like I've seen pictures, and even in like England and shit, some of that shit's still sitting in the fields, like busted, tanks that got hit and artillery and all that bullshit still sitting there. All them bunkers and shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean I see that everywhere. There's money just laying everywhere that nobody cares about.
I'd like to buy one of them old missile silos or something. That'd be cool. Get one of those and refurbish it into a
Oh man, I would not want to refurbish it. I would just want to like have it for content. You can keep it clean.
I'd make it into one of those bug out places. Dude, lockdown.
That place is
nobody'd be able to come in. Yeah, you'd be able to.
You'd have to have
it'd already be set up.
1,000-man crew to do that.
Nah. Well, what you do is you make I've seen the dude do that, and he basically rented it out doomsday, like a doomsday apartment, and he got all these rich people to.
There's Airbnbs you can literally stay in
like
them.
that.
Yeah.
And they're really expensive, and these people already done paid for it. And if the shit hits the fan, they're like, Pew. It's like paying rent. They're already paying for it.
I would bet that too. Those same places I think are the ones released as like Airbnbs, like that Mr. Beast and Ryan.
I think
Trahan
it was
go
that
to.
Argentina, Gary.
They think
it was him and they found this whole town that was full of them Nazi soldiers down there.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think I'm pulling all my information from Y-Files right now. Mm-hmm. But I definitely remember that story, and it's like,
I watch a lot of that crazy shit.
I have almost watched every single episode Y-Files has put out.
I can't say I've watched all his.
I'm like, wow, I would not have thought I watched that much.
Seth likes Hecklefish, that's his buddy.
Yeah, apparently. He is a good comedic relief. They got some good written jokes in there, man. I thought he would be way more entertaining on the Joe Rogan than he was. It was very serious and almost like...
I didn't even see him on that one.
He was almost nervous, like talking to him. It's like he didn't want to... Joe's just... Yeah, I want you to hear about that. But he's like... Oh, like kind of jittery. I don't know. It's just me. But he he's knowledgeable. He knew his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I guess, without Hecklefish and his whole setup, it wasn't the same.
He posted something the other day, a couple days ago. What the hell did he?
He's been going live a lot.
Yeah, that's what he did. I think he went live or something, and I just seen the post or whatever. It's like,
You can never talk. I joined in his live like 3 times. You can never talk to him. It's always an episode playing, and then when he does come in, he's only talking to certain people. And I'm like, them people ain't even there. This is pre-recorded. I don't know.
That's weird. How can he pre-record it live?
I couldn't personally talk to him, but it probably wasn't pre-recorded. He just had tons of viewers.
Yep, you typed it in. It came in a half hour later.
Yeah,
because there's so many people hitting him up.
Yeah. Our chat doesn't seem to be that lagged. It seemed to be doing pretty good.
Gary and Otto, where's everybody else at? Where you at, man? Well, we're in there, but we just didn't say nothing.
Where you at, man?
It would normally be like halftime, but we ain't got no owl here in about 5 minutes. We did get 15 minutes late or whatever, 20 minutes late. I don't know.
I didn't know that one either.
I wonder how he got stuck down in Beach City with them boys from the spot. Apparently, all as you said.
The McAlpine Meadery's down there, but I don't know about anything else. I guess they're doing the renovations and stuff. I'm seeing some stuff about that. Just not a fan anymore of that place.
What's that?
McAlpine Meadery.
Never been down there.
That Melly West down there, she's terrible.
Melly West?
Yeah.
Don't know her.
She's a owner or manager, more or less.
Where's it at?
In Beach City.
Oh.
Yeah. McAlpine Meadery. It's a winery.
Oh.
Yeah. They would yell at people for bringing actual alcohol beverages in there. That's why nobody wanted to go there, because it was like, we weren't talked to nicely about it. You know, we were throwing out type deal. But I mean, I guess that is what it is. But it should probably be instated somewhere, you know, around. When we went down there for our show, I'm talking all kinds of crap about it. But when we went down there for our show, they didn't even have the sign set up. It was still saying something about some old show and falling apart. I was like, well, there's no care put into this place. Now they're renovating it. Now they're doing all kinds of things to it. They got it all mowed up. It looks good. And I don't know what's going on with management.
You went down there for a show? You went
a
play a show?
Couple times, yeah.
And what, you took your own shit?
Alcohol? Yeah. No, not me. It wasn't me. It was other people that would go down there, I guess.
Because technically that's illegal.
Yeah. Well,
that's why they was bitching.
When I started doing shows, when I very first started, I started with All Circles Media, and their show was down there. And so I had just showed up into this entire scene. You know, I wasn't part of it, but I was performing and I got to see it. And then we did a show down there twice, and then Big Buff wanted to go down there, and we went down there twice. Melly ended up coming down to the spot and trying to help out with the spot. So it was this whole thing. And I've only been down there like a handful of times. But from that, I know this information about this place. I mean, we went out there with people that came from states far to do a show. And it was an empty venue.
Ugh. Because
of how they were talked about among the community, I guess.
I never even heard of them.
Yeah. Well, there it goes to show you, I guess.
We used to go down
there. It was
a
cool spot,
play
in my
that
opinion.
bar that, I forget what it was, right across the street from the fire station there. Dude ended up passing away. I sold him my stages. I think it's still rotting away in the parking lot out there.
Oh, dang. In Beach City?
Mm-hmm. You know where the fire station is? There's a bar right across the street. I can't remember the name of it. It was Jim's place. Jim's bar, Jim's place.
Wow.
Because my brother, Thunderstruck, played in there all the time.
Small world. Well, maybe I need to get in that venue.
But I think it's closed down when he passed away. Last time we went down through there, which was a couple months ago, or I think it was, maybe longer. I don't know. I think when Daryl and them played down there somewhere, the old, it wasn't Vines, it was somewhere else. It was, where the hell was that? That Army Navy there on 250 or whatever that is down there. But anyway, we was coming back from one of their gigs and went through there. Larry was driving, and I was like, damn, that place still ain't opened up.
You would probably like the McAlpine Meadery. Before they had their renovation, I don't know what it's going to look like now, but before they did that, dude, it was pretty cool. They had a life-size dragon in there, in the back, just chilling. They had, like, tapestries over the walls. It was mostly, like, dark lit with neon glow.
I got a life-size dragon just chilling, too.
It was, it was a very, like, hippie, southern rock vibe. Like, I couldn't explain it. It was just a hangout. They had tables just thrown in there. I mean, it wasn't a very professional type venue, but it was a hangout spot. That's why everybody liked it. I don't know where they got the wrong message. Where they were smoking so much weed out there that it was dumb. And so somewhere along those lines where they got mixed up with the alcohol or whatever. I don't know. But I would imagine those are the type of people you invite in with those activities and with that type of venue and that type of management. So Melly complained about it all the time, but everybody complained about Melly, so. But I think you would like it if it's anywhere near the same.
It's outside, I'm assuming?
No, it's inside. Yeah, it's inside. They have a big yard though, and they do outdoor stuff. They even do camping, but I haven't been down there for any of that. So that's pretty cool. It's a pretty big place. Well, it's a small place, but it's a big name. It's owned by the McAlpines.
You hear that, Otto?
Yeah. Get in touch.
I don't know if he's still
Rub
with us
some
or
butts.
not.
Show some
That
love.
Stinking owl. We're gonna beat owl. We got sheets with bars of soap inside of them. We're gonna beat your ass when you get here. We're gonna have Otto hold you down, and me and SeAth, we're gonna commence to whooping that ass. We're gonna bust them ribs up, boy. We ain't gonna hurt your arms because you still gotta play. We gonna fuck them ribs up, them kidneys, and them legs. We might fuck them legs up too. Take them on out. You gonna have to sit down and play today, boy.
First rule of Fight Club. Don't talk about Fight Club. Damn.
Now,
You hear this track back here, though? I don't know if you're tuned in, but you're missing that, man.
I was listening. I was like, damn it, I found some pretty good shit for Al to play too.
Yeah, that sounds good, dude. I'm enjoying it.
There's all kinds of different. I was sitting there for hours. I got a couple more, I think, on the other computer, but I ended up pulling this laptop. I was like, man, if I do it on that, I'll have to transfer the shit over.
Yeah.
I can just use this.
I haven't done a whole lot with videos recently. I've been working on some like music stuff just to like experiment with different I don't know, learn the music software better. This is all I'm trying to do. I don't know, I feel like there's a little secret in there, just knowledge, teach yourself every day. That's all I've been doing. No, I post a video to YouTube every day for one of them shorts to try to go a little bit. And I actually got a couple messages from people on Facebook. They're like, hey, are you good? You usually post all the time and you haven't posted in a while. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but thanks for the reminder because, like, I don't really see it. I let it go because I just, well, A, I relax, and B, I don't see it going anywhere or see these people following it like that until they remind you. And it's like, oh, well, you care. Okay, well, I got to get back on
I
it.
got one person out there.
Yeah. Shout out one person, Gary. Shout out one person. Because you never know what kind of freaking fire you can light just by existing in the right place at the right time.
I was listening to the one show one of my old radio shows, because I had them dudes that I had been coming in recording, and That's weird. It sounds like it's going in and out. It's been doing that.
There was guitar on that one. Now there's vocals.
Don't know what that is.
You're gonna start hearing, so it's like, oh no, turn it off. Wrong thing.
What's going on there? What was I talking about?
I don't remember. It totally threw me off.
Me too.
The music going in and out threw me off. What were we talking about? Otto?
Gary, anyone? Damn. Don't blame it on me.
Well, we were talking about the tracks and how cool they were.
Oh, that's what it was. Is them dudes came over and I finished their tracks up, so I put them on the thumb drive, which happened to have one of my old shows on it. So after I got done listening to all their stuff, that came on. I was listening to it. Pretty funny. But I plan on posting some of that, and that's the first one. And it just so happened that the drummer from that band, them guys are from Milwaukee, Spiral Trance, the drummer passed away. He caught that cancer, and then but I've been trying to figure out how to make a damn a slideshow on my computer and shit, because I'm like, damn, and I just realized today, because I was gonna try to make a slideshow and edit it all on on the big computer.
Yeah.
I can do that shit right here on my phone with CapCut and UCut.
Yeah.
A lot easier than what that would be.
Yeah, convenient too. Yeah.
I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. I could make a slideshow with that. And then I was like, wait a minute, I could make a slideshow, then add the audio in, and it's done. And then if I want to, I could add effects if I want to, or whatever. Add all the little thingamabobbers in that I put in.
I was confused when you said I needed to make a slideshow and didn't know how. I was like, we just made that video. What?
Well, but on that, I guess it kind of would. Well, what I wanted to do is, because the show's like 2 hours or whatever, and I only got so many pictures, you'd have to put in all the pictures, then put in all the pictures. I was going to just make a slideshow and keep putting that in all the way till it gets to the end.
Oh,
and repeat it, because I don't know, you might be able to repeat it on that, but I'm still not hip to that. I'm still struggling to use that one in there.
Well, it would probably be way easier on your phone, regardless. But yeah, that part is just.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put that shit on my phone and get to doing that and get that done and posted. And then I think the next one will be Assault, which is the bass player from Falling in Reverse.
I got some more throwaways that I'm gonna post. I call them throwaways, but I put some work into them and I just didn't finish because of whatever reason. And so they're good songs, and I put them on these collections called throwaways. They're like albums people can check out if they want to hear more stuff while they're waiting on good stuff to drop, I guess. I've never seen this tactic employed by like an artist that I follow. They're always like, oh, you like that, now wait 6 months for another one. And it's like, well, now I'm in a whole different ballgame, because then you had Dax. Dax dropped every single day until he was known as a good rapper. He had something to prove behind him. So there's a whole different method there too. And so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of dropping all this until I'm ready to drop something like finalized. I've dropped some finalized things in there that I'm like, it doesn't sound right because I don't have professional equipment. That's the only thing that's holding me back right now. But
well, that technically isn't, because
got
it here.
When I had it recorded then.
Yeah.
It was probably an older one even. I'd have to recreate it. But that's the only thing that was holding that track back. So it was like, okay, in my eyes, that's done. I can put it out. But I'm going to put it out as a throwaway because I know it could be better.
You shouldn't. Well, then why don't you just, because what you would call what you got as a throwaway in the rock business, they would call that as a demo. You would bring that in and we go, okay, well, that's cool, but let's rework it and do this, and then you'd come in and redo it and do the better part of how you'd want to do it, or additives and preservatives and whatever else you put in it, and then it would be a done piece.
I mean, there's always that. We could always review it.
Because I could show you, like,
5
Alice in
now.
Chains, I got some of their demos, and, like, if you heard Rooster, how it was before it actually got released, it's like, whoa.
I want to try
Couple of
recording
them
a
other
song
ones.
here. I haven't got a chance to talk to you about that yet, but I
Yeah,
do.
we
I want
gotta-
to try record. Not, we can finish Ohio Steel, but another song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just something out
speaking
of
of-
scratch. I think it would be
What
fun.
are we waiting on that song?
We're just waiting on the beat. He said he doesn't have a copy of the beat that's edited. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do from there, because I swear he had the beat, and if he didn't, I edited it. So I'm going to have to go back in and re-edit it. And I don't know how I did that. I'm just going to have to go in and listen and do it, and I haven't sat down and did it. That's all that's stopping me from doing that. It's me.
Is that something that has to be done?
For it to be completely finished? In that way, if we want to like copy it exact and match the video, yeah, it has to be done that way.
I forget what you was doing, the reason why you was doing that.
Well, because the beat is different from the video. The actual instrumental, it's like, it's longer. And in the video version, the song is edited, so it's shorter.
Right.
And we already had the video done.
Right.
We'd
So
have to
how-
reshoot the video to match that if we did it any different.
So why are you doing it different then?
I'm not doing it any different. I have to
I'm
edit it
confused.
exactly the same. That's what we're waiting on, is that beat to be edited exactly the same. And apparently my producer didn't
Well,
do that.
how did we make the video? Because we went along with the music.
The song was already done. It's done, but remember, we were remaking it to make it sound harder.
Yeah, I remember.
Because it's a soft vocal. And I was like, it's a hard video, but my vocal's all like, I'm Ohio. Like, it was really soft. So we were like,
'cause
let's
yeah,
make it
that's
more
right.
aggressive.
You didn't record that here. That's right. You wanted the beat to re-record the vocals.
Yeah. We were doing it right here, yeah. That's all we're waiting on for that, though. Actually, I have one that I've been working on heavy, and I haven't finalized anything, like made it perfect, but I make it cool. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and then I move on and try to do something else, because at this point I'm having fun with it. But it's a diss track, and it's heavy. It disses everyone. And I'm like, I don't know about this energy, man. I don't know about this. That's what got me kind of to a different level, was I started calling out people. Actually, people started calling out me. And I've had plenty of songs made about me at this point. So now I'm just touching on subjects that are like real. And I was going to discuss like the beef with Poe the Passion and getting removed from Big Buff Records and stuff like that. So it would be a heavy subject to talk about. And I just don't know. I have to show it to you. I guess I could show it to you here right now, but like it's not all the way finished. Show you the lyrics. That's for sure.
I'm gonna ask old boy if I can get some of those beats that he had, and what we got to do to get his nephew to give us a big pile of them. We'll start getting some recordings going on in here. We got to get our shit finished. The gas band. I'm guilty. I got 4 songs to finish plus some, other shit.
That's why I've been releasing my stuff. Well, not the only reason. I ran out of space. But like, it's done. I'm not going to do any more to that. I put it on the shelf and I stopped working. I started working on a new project. And then when I do that, my real life is happening too. So there's a million things happening, and that just gets shelved. Well, it doesn't deserve to be shelved. That's why I just threw it out there. Like, okay.
Fucking old Upchurch made a post or video today. He's pissed. He's talking about he canceled his tour and all this shit, and he's done making music.
What?
He's tripping. These cats keep messing with him, man. He freaked out. He's like, man, I'm tired. He goes, you guys want to keep messing with me? I'll just quit. Tour's over.
That has
I'm
to
done.
be like a publicity stunt of something or something.
I don't know
Is that
what's
the one
going
that's coming to Canton?
Yeah.
That'd just be my luck. Just be my luck.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, really though?
Speaking of, how's the situation with your truck?
We did crawl under it, and me and Otto, he pulled the cover off the rear end, drained out the nasty grease. We put some in it because the driver's side seal's leaking, but it's still got that noise. It didn't do the little. I don't know if I had too much weight on it or what was going on there. I really don't know. We didn't find out nothing there.
But it's
no
still,
universals. Yeah, it's still got that weird sound once you get up to 40.
it's running and driving though. That's
Yeah, sort of.
I thought it was like detrimental. I mean, it still is scary.
Right.
Could be, you know.
So I still don't know. It's got to be something in the transmission. Even though it's weird, it don't shift funny or nothing like that. It just makes it sounds like it's gonna fall apart once you get up to about 40 miles an hour.
Man, my
Makes that noise.
old Dodge Ram 1500 318 96. That's what it was, a 96. I was going to Akron every day for work. That stretch there.
318's a good old engine there, boy.
Yeah, that's what I was told when I worked on the pipeline. They were like, these bosses with $250,000 trucks were envious of my broke little. Well, it was a big red truck. Anyway, I was going to Akron every day, and that's a 70-mile stretch right there. Well, at like 65, that thing would start going like, oh man, scary bad. You'd have to either ease off of it or go faster. And one day, it started doing it, and I pushed it a lot at this point. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm trying to make it stop, and you know how you get angry and road rage. Well, I pushed it just a little, not nowhere near as much as I do.
Found out what it was, did you?
No. Well, I mean, yeah, kinda. It was everything, dude. That frame was hit, but something about it made my tire at that moment explode. And when it exploded, the tread came off of it. It hit the back of the pickup truck, and it pushed the whole cab up. It pushed my whole truck up. I went sideways into the lane. I was like, oh my God, I completely, basically totaled it.
You probably had a
until I
broken
put it
belt
on.
all that time. Once you got up to so it fucking got crazy.
It was in the tire, it was in the frame,
Yeah.
it was in the four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive was stuck. The frame was completely rusted out, apparently. Like, my brother told me, I don't know how that truck was driving. And there was all kinds of issues with it. But at the time, I guess it was the tire. I had to switch at that point, you know, because going to Akron every day in that truck was not cheap. I was working at 2-minute truck in Akron at that time, and that was pretty much fresh off of the pipeline because I had moved back from Pennsylvania. I had that to work in the mud down there. When I went down there originally, I had a Nissan 99 Sentra. I was going in mud this thick and doing it, dude. That little thing kicked butt, man.
My buddy Dennis, when he was in high school, he got a Jeep, and that thing had tires as bald as this coffee cup. Man, you put that sucker in four-wheel drive, that thing would go anywhere. It was a 6-cylinder, 3-speed, man. That sumbitch, you put that sucker in low, you could climb hills. It was amazing. Go through mud.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
My ex's dad had a Jeep, and he would climb over the cars in his yard. And to me, that's wild. I never did get to go with him when he was like climbing the rocks and stuff or anything. I've never been mudding either. I've told my brother over and over, he goes mudding all the time, like, take me. But I've never been. But I watched him do that, and I was like, dude, that's wild. I never even tried that in something like my truck.
Yeah.
It would have been fun too,
Oh,
but
I wonder why
I
that
would have
didn't
probably
fit.
broke it.
I was wondering why that didn't fit, didn't look right.
That one's backwards.
Yeah. puts her ass up. See, she's looking back.
Oh, yeah. I almost
And that
had this
button
right.
there.
I had the colors right, and I had the middle right. So like it was almost perfect. But the 3 on the bottom, I always forget about that. I'll
They
try
got
to
a
remember
big-
that for next time.
They got a big black cock over there at the spot too.
Yeah.
I was gonna post that the other day. I keep forgetting, man. I just been like,
You could
shit's
probably
got
go
me
sign
wore
that
out.
for them.
Yeah. The silver Sharpie.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
He keeps wanting. He's like, man, you should come over on a Tuesday night and just interview some of these guys, man, for your show. And I'm just like, the only way I could do that would be on my phone because it's too much with all this. And it's like, you should just stop over on a Wednesday night and go on the show if you want interviewed. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what I mean?
what I was gonna
It's
say.
not a mobile show.
These guys make it to the spot somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it here.
Well, I was thinking about that. You know that Jared dude, he kind of runs things.
Jared Shepard.
Grimes or whatever they call him.
Oh. Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett. I'm thinking about, if the weather's nice, about, having a little get together on Wednesdays here. If I can find trust somebody to keep shit going on outside, they all gather here out there, and then they be switching in and out, jamming with Owl, and they have a fire or whatever.
What do you mean, just like a shindig, like a party, or what?
Yeah, like a little, like they do there,
Yeah,
but here on a Wednesday.
that'd be nice. You just gotta be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be careful. Sticky fingers, for one. I know that. It's just, it's no judgment to behold. It's Canton people. It's what
Right.
it is. You never know who it is. You never expect the people that it is most of the time. But that would be cool, though. You got a heck of a space back there.
Mm-hmm.
Could be utilized for a lot of things.
Just a thought, but I don't know.
I still haven't
But
made it down to the
regardless,
spot.
these cats don't. I need more coffee.
He hasn't responded to me. Yeah, me too. I need a restroom break, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But what are we at? What are we doing?
I don't know. We're about an hour and 22. I was kind of hoping. I wonder.
Halftime is like at an hour
It
in.
should have been already.
Yeah. it's-
22 minutes ago.
How long is halftime?
How long is it? Usually about 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. So we're about like 20 minutes after halftime.
Right. Well, it would have started 22 minutes ago, but we'd only been back 10 minutes or so. So let me find out.
Yeah, either way.
Let me text him and see how close they are.
Gary says, I
don't
think
think
we
that-
worked for 2 men in a truck. When? 2 Men in a
Who
Truck
said that?
was a great company in Akron, but when I moved to Canton and they tried to put me in management of 2 Men in a Truck in Canton. Do you see me as a trainer? And they didn't even want to train them. It was a whole mess. Akron, great. Canton, I can't say the same. But I had to move there because it was closer.
Man, I got dude that was in the stagehand union with me. He got hurt, and I guess he's up there in Akron, like living in a damn Walgreens parking lot, basically. And of course, they won't give him no help, no nothing. It's like, yep, that's the union for you.
What?
They're all your buddies until something goes down, then they don't want nothing to do with you.
Wow.
And he was even on their side, unlike me. I wouldn't put up with their political bullshit and their red tape shit and all that. I'd be like, nah, man. I ain't here to make friends. I'm here to make money. Now, what you want me to do? And if you don't want me to do nothing, send me the fuck home.
See, it's a problem because you get this mixture of companies. It really depends on who you work for. If you work for a big brand, honestly, no care should truly be put into that as much. If it was like something local, then yeah, like put your heart and soul into that.
Talking about 5 minutes ago, if you work for 2 Men in a Truck, 5 minutes ago, what, honky?
5 winters ago.
Oh, that's what I mean, winters. I did see that. What I say, minutes?
Yeah, you said minutes. I was like, what?
Winters, that's what I meant to say.
5 winters ago. He
See
must
how
have
I
worked
read
for
that
2 Men in a Truck.
stigmatism work?
5 winters ago.
I seen it even said winters, and I still said minutes. My brain is dumb.
It's a lack of coffee.
For real.
We appreciate you guys for tuning in, though.
Yeah,
Sorry
one of
we're
these
late, but
days
we're
we'll have
here.
a great show.
We're here. Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless, we have people that depend on us to be here, like Gary. I would say Al, a couple other folks, but Al's not even here.
I was thinking about starting up my live again and starting to go live again because I have some commenters on there that are like talking about it, like we missed you and blah blah blah. My problem for it was I never got a good following to like tune in all the time, and I myself wasn't consistent. This beats that because this is very consistent, and mine wasn't. So like obviously the viewers ain't gonna know when to tune in. Even if you get scheduled, it's hard. Every day. I was doing it every other day, and then that turned into a problem because I was like, well, did I do it yesterday? So I go 2 days, and I just lost track. And I was like, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not Beanzo. Beanzo's almost at 100,000 subscribers now. Shout out, Beanzo. Shane passed 100,000. He didn't get a plaque for it yet, but we think some shady stuff went down there. I don't know. You tell me, Shane.
6. If I can get that in 6.
What is that?
The wireless, so we can talk while we redo our coffee.
Ha! That'd be wild. You got everything. See,
Only I had to leave.
You need like a Bluetooth speaker back there, and then you got like the whole wired actual setup that goes back there.
Yeah. See? Now I can go get my coffee and still talk, and everybody will still be able to hear me. Then I can pass it off to you and do the same thing, see?
That's wild.
See how that works? See, now I can still be part of the show even though I'm not sitting there. That's for all them folks that might be listening.
Yeah.
That ain't watching it anyway. They won't even know no different.
That's wild. That's pretty cool, though. Like I said, something for everything.
Wouldn't want to take you into the bathroom, though.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Might hear how deep the water is.
I just about finished on my coffee, too, so I'll get some after you.
Text back from Otto. He is driving, though.
Jerry says he remembers because he hated it.
Working in a truck.
With 2 Men in a Truck.
You want to get a refill?
You'd have Akron or Canton? Which one?
Akron or Canton, eh?
Akron or Canton? Because Akron...
I don't hear you. Let me see that. You might have shut it off.
I also forgot my cup.
I don't know. Should be on. You just wasn't talking into it.
Yeah.
There I go.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, thanks to the Canton.
Oh, I see what's going on. Gotta be up in it pretty good. Got a gate.
Thanks to the Canton branch.
I'd turn the gate down. Now say something.
I was a top mover in Akron, and that's why they put me in training to go down to Canton. They had no management down there, and they didn't want to listen to me about the management I was put in charge of. They had a warehouse, and they had no training happen in it. They wanted it all to happen on field. And so they had these kids go out there. And break their backs trying to learn how to move furniture on field. And like the pressure behind that is dumb. When I was in Akron, we did it in a warehouse, secluded. We had a trainer. They even showed us how to go up and down stairs.
I gotta remember that little trick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That was nice, man. I liked my trainer Jesse. He was cool, and I think that's the reason I was so good at it. Well, that would be why. Did you get Marty? Marty. He's a tall, black, skinny guy, and he's always sweating.
Somehow I missed Otto. Trying to call me at 10 after 8.
I don't see Otto.
No, I'm saying he tried to call my phone at like 10 after when I was still running around trying to get shit going. I didn't even notice it just now. I seen a little missed call thing. I'm like, what the hell?
Otto be doing this thing recently where he calls during the show. That's twice.
Actually, that would have been, yeah.
That's funny. Hey, he could call in and go on FaceTime, though, and we'll set him right on the toilet.
Yeah, right.
Dude, get a tablet.
Actually, it's on the computer, so if we figure out how to work that, he would be on there. Remember how because we did your America's Got Talent on FaceTime through this. Remember?
Yeah.
So if we
got it on the monitor.
Not through this, but through the computer, which this program is on, but there's a way to get that into OBS, because even all them other cats and reactors, that's what they use is OBS, and they got that other window. I just don't know how to use it, man. We need some kind of computer.
Put like a little window?
Uh-uh.
Well, if you wanted to go around that.
It comes up in the corner wherever you want to put it. It would be like us, and then, or him, or he would be in the little window on, and we could talk to him and shit. Anybody for that.
Same as
we were supposed to do that anyway, because Otto was going to get us some interviews with some pretty higher up people, and then we just never. I don't know. He bailed out.
Well, what you could do is if you had a tablet and you wanted to go around that, you just put the tablet like right here. You know, have the microphone hooked up to it. People are going to know it's a long distance or like a video, so they're going to know it has a different sound. You don't got to worry about having professional sound on their end.
I could just plug it into a channel, and it would have professional sound.
You could do it however, but you could have it that way. Just a tablet. And that would be kind of funny. Have it sit on the toilet. Or something.
But yeah, we should be able to do that, run that right in there.
Well, we need to remember before we tear this down to go and look at those settings this time and see if we can put something under where the sources are.
Mm-hmm.
Before we tear it. At least the green screen and the cameras. This stuff
Well, you don't necessarily need the green screen because it's going to be in a separate window. We just got to figure out how to get that other window up there.
Well, did you want to do, like, have the videos play on the green screen, too,
I mean,
eventually?
we could do that.
Yeah. That was the other thing we talked about. I think that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you did have that, or if you had it somehow broadcast the monitor, that would be
Now,
cool.
probably doing the green screen thing, I don't know. That might be easier doing that than actually putting a little window up, but I don't know because...
That's what I was saying,
with the green screen, you just put the image
and
thing
then
in there. I don't
their
know.
big head is right here.
Yeah.
The
we
Wizard
wouldn't
of
be able
Oz.
to see it looking at it.
No.
We'd have to look on the screen to see it.
Yeah, that'd be so weird. We gotta do that.
Yeah, but they'd be looking at us from that camera anyway, so we'd have to be like looking that way. I still think it would be better if they was in a little block.
Keep it a tint of green to make it look just like the Wizard of Oz. Just a floating head. That'd be great, dude.
Can you dig it?
Boom, 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 boom.
Can. Oh, it didn't do it.
Echo.
I was going to try that, but it didn't work for me. Why wouldn't it? Oh, the first one was on.
Echo.
Can you dig it? Oh, wasn't that fun?
Hey, that sounded like digging.
Huh? No. No, that's the Warriors. Come out to play.
You know, whenever I was little, I had this little recorder, and I'd sit there and I'd make every noise possible into this thing to see if I could make noises. And it kind of translated into beatboxing a little bit. That from there really transferred into like rap, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I use a lot of sound effects and beatboxing in rap because it's all about rhythm of whatever it sounds like. Everything has a pattern and a rhythm, and if you can match it, you can make certain sounds, you know. And I used to love to do that. I think that's one of the things that really drove me to just keep doing this. I just like making noise.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird. Imagine there's like a group of ancient people who knew that their purpose was to make the noise, and then there was other people who their purpose was to bring the light.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to that whole theory. There you go. There's your power. There you go. That's how they moved monoliths.
They didn't move them.
They had that guy who was moving 600-pound stones and showing how it could be done really easily. There's all kinds
I
of
seen
theories.
dude do like a 6,000-pound stone. He had this big stick.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
put a rock underneath of it.
Yeah, probably the same guy. He does all kinds of those. There's
And
ones
then
with like
he tipped
buckets.
one into the thing with the buckets, filled them all up, and put them on the one end until it tipped in the hole.
Yeah, with
He's
the
that
bucket.
same dude, but that's all fine and dandy. But that still ain't how they did all the megalithic structures. They poured them. I'm telling you. Just look at them. Just look at them.
I'm not talking about any in particular. First of all, second of all,
I'm talking about all of them.
can you imagine if you figured out how to like teleport or not teleport? What is that? Elevate things. Telekinesis or something like that. The power of the mind to move stuff.
One dude used like
Some people claim to
like,
figure
was
it out.
beetle shells or something. Used a bunch of them under this board and it levitated.
There's been the
Some
thing
weird
with
shit.
making wind circles out of leaves. That's all over TikTok. That's been a thing. Some of them claim that it's real. A lot of them just go along with it. It's like the joke because it could be whatever.
Small bullshit.
Oh wow. Bob just about talked about all the topics that I know about.
I know. I was thinking, well, it is 10 o'clock. We could just call it. We've been there, done that.
What do we got coming up? Oh, what's going on with Juneteenth? I haven't heard anything about that.
I gotta call him anyway, and
I'm not prepared apparently because I haven't been briefed. So like, I don't know if I would need to do an hour set and pull that on my butt. You know, I could. It wouldn't be pretty, but I'd rather be briefed on it. Like, hey, what's going on?
yeah, I haven't heard nothing from him, so I have to give him a call.
Okay. Well, that's no worries. Even if it don't happen, it's no worries. That park, like I said, I've never been to it.
Classic drive. It'll be at Vaughn's this Sunday. I got the calendar over there. I just didn't look.
Is that somewhere you're going?
I could, probably. We'll see.
Vines?
That's Vaughn's.
Vons?
It's a bar. It's a free show to get in.
Let me know where
Get
that's
word.
at. I don't know where that's at.
That's,
See-
that's down there. It's down there somewhere.
We need to gather as a community. Screw all these pages of where people talk about going to this venue, that venue. We need a group chat where people go to these venues together. They're like, hey, we're going to go here and support so-and-so for this.
That'd be awesome.
That would be way better than somebody trying to establish. We have so many people trying to establish their own venue.
If we had a bus, we could talk people into that party bus to the whatever band and whatever venue.
That would be wicked. Yeah.
Man, that might not be a bad idea for a fucking.
We have to call it a
some
party
sort
of,
of
some
business.
kind. Like, this is the
'Cause you know,
media farm party.
I've been all over the place where those things are at, and I ain't never seen none around here.
What?
Them party buses.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
When Larry and them played out at this place,
I see limo party
what
buses.
is that, Stillwater out there, right on the edge of Ohio and Indiana? It's right on the border. They'd have these buses come in like every hour, and they'd come in and be all them people would come in, and they had like some kind of a discount thing for the people on the buses, and about every hour, little over an hour, they'd take off, and another bus would show up, so the bar was full all the time. Every hour and a half, another bus would, they'd take off, and another one would come.
What was it, like a actual short bus?
No,
What kinda
no, it was like a school bus.
Like a school bus.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Big
Had it all
difference there.
Painted up black, and then lights inside. And
Yeah, well, the ones I visualized, like those short buses, they have a pole in
Some
them
of
for the
them, yeah.
dancers, and they are like the VIP limo type.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I do see
too.
a few of those, mostly around strip clubs. Nowhere else really, which sucks. Yeah, having that, man, that would be cool.
Otto says he's on Duber.
Everybody claims they want the friendship, but there's no money in that.
He
That's
said
why
we
that
were
hasn't
at
really
the
been
spot.
started.
We were on Duber all because he had to go pick up Owl's guitars.
I got all comments on. How am I not seeing? Oh, you're getting
No,
text.
that's text, yeah.
Oh. Gotcha.
So I don't know. I was fixing to call it a day. Uber.
I don't know,
They'll be here in another like 7 minutes. Is it worth it? Should we stay on? By the time he gets here and gets strapped up and ready to go, it'll still be time to go, because shit, we're already at 1:42 as it is. We only got 20 more minutes if we stay for the 2 hours.
Well, it's up to you in the chat. What do you guys want?
Think?
Yeah.
It's only Gary, because me and you.
I don't mind. I could sit here and just
3.
talk. I mean, that's what we're doing anyway.
3.
That's what we do. This is the Outhouse podcast where we talk shit about
Gary
shit.
said there's no money in it and can't. What, the party bus?
That's what I'm saying, yeah. There's no profit in that. That's why nobody's doing it.
He's telling me to call him. You do realize I'm on the air,
There
right?
should be. Hey, if we could figure out how to make a profit or find an area that doesn't need profit and put our music in that somehow, then we'd be in business. For example, if like this party bus had something to benefit people that like really didn't cost too much out of pocket expense that people could just enjoy. That everybody loves a freebie. People get on board for something like that.
You still want me to call you and put you on air? Is that what you're saying?
But something that the government ain't gonna be like, oh, you're making millions of dollars off of this. You know, something that's not, I don't know, profitable. Good luck figuring that one out.
Right.
It's definitely a good idea, though, right? Or am I crazy? My brain's on 1,000 right now. Same play some Fortnite.
Audio.
Hey, that's
I
pretty
don't
good.
know. What's he talking about, Willis? Damn it, just lost the chat again. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Okay, I can't do the record scratch right now.
Hey, it ain't no biggie. I just wanted to go get him. If I bring him over.
Whoa.
Wait, what are you doing over there?
Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Too much. Yeah, we'll just call it. That way I can call him. So, yep, we'll get out of here. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
We'll do the thing. And I'll call him. He wants to know if Al wants to come over, but it's like, well, at this point, it's a wrap.
You can if you want to. We'll be here cleaning up.
Yeah.
It's always nice to have a hand. And we'll be talking. Oh, we'll probably be figuring this out too, so this won't get cleaned up for a minute. So you got time.
We can still do that in there. We don't necessarily. Well, I guess we do have to have. Well,
they got time.
Anyway.
You know, I just noticed. Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say I had the logo backwards the whole time. I was like, dang.
He's got a caulk on his glass.
Yeah.
On his cup.
It's official. Look how official I am, folks.
Hey, Nick.
You can't be mad at that. Like, you can't hate, you know?
But anyway, we're going to get out of here, y'all.
Yeah.
You and Zal.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Is there anybody out there?
Yo,
I don't
like
see
that
the mouse
whole
moving.
show kind of went into like what the second half should be with the conspiracies and everything. I could talk about conspiracies forever, though.
Hold on. All right, we out of here for real this time? We out?
We
All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Now we got more people watching and listening. We're out of here.
It's up to you,
We
man.
shall see you. Well, I mean, it don't matter. We'll see him next week. We'll see him next week, same time, same sandbox, as long as we ain't running late because equipment failure. We'll see you guys. Peace out.
Next Wednesday.
Bye. See ya. Hit that stop button.